Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hi. Good morning. I know it's morning and it's very early for a lot of you guys. Thanks for waking up early or perhaps even not sleeping to make it today. Yeah, hello everyone. I am Freodore, designer of NIJISANJI EN's 11th unit by the beat. 皆様おはようございます。NIJISANJI EN 所属 by the beat のビジュアルセンスがこだわりのデザイナー、フリオドルと申します。やっほー。おはよう。Hello, buenos días muchachos. Buenos días, buenas tardes. How are you guys doing today? みんな元気? Today we are using a different background and a different background music as well. This is still done by the same person that has been doing the background music that I've been using in my streams. But this is just a coincidence, but this track is actually named Hedgehog. Isn't that cute? It's fate. It was fate. For some reason my chat window's not updating on OBS. That's odd. Just gonna pop the chat here. 早起きしたよ。偉いね。僕のために早起きしたら感謝します。In Japan, today's a holiday. That is true. Happy holidays. 今日は祝日だね。日本で。ゆっくり休んでね、今日。Hope everyone can rest today on holiday. And for those that have work, school today as well, wishing you guys the best of luck. Drinking coffee and milk. Enjoy. Yeah, it would be really nice if we can all share a drink, so if you have something, please make sure to. Or it would be nice to like drink together. Maybe if you guys also prepared coffee or a tea drink, it would be cute if you could maybe share it under the live tag or under the Doremin tag maybe? Yeah, I think the Doremin tag would be good to share the drink that you're drinking during Zatsus with me. If you want, only. It's not that I didn't have enough time, I just didn't prepare enough for me to be able to practice brewing coffee on stream. I usually brew coffee in the kitchen. And I brought my equipment to the desk. So before I explain my stories of the coffee shops that I went to in Japan, I think I am gonna go ahead and brew some coffee first. Be careful. Yes, let's be careful. We don't wanna break another microphone, do we? I'm still waiting for my main microphone to dry. It had condensation issues, so I'm just letting it dry. Not microwave, absolutely not. I cannot believe it. Do you want to have breakfast on stream? I do not eat breakfast often, actually. I do not eat breakfast that often. I had some toast with cream cheese earlier, but that's it. May I ask what's wrong? It ruins the flavor. It's not nice. Yeah, I usually prefer eating my heavier meal later in the day. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and start preparing my brew. I already pre-grinded my beans. I'm not gonna show anything on screen, by the way. This is just imagine that I am brewing, that you're seeing me brew the coffee. But I don't know, I don't know if you can hear it. I don't want to put my microphone too close to the equipment because maybe the steam from the hot water could not be good. Today, I'm using like my daily beans. I don't really have a lot of fancy collections yet, but I'm using coffee beans from Chiapas, Mexico, and it's a medium roast, and I'm pretty sure it's a wash processing, but it doesn't tell me. Do you use a hand grinder or an electric one? I use a hand grinder. I use a Tim Moore C2. However, I would love to buy a Comandante once I have enough money. 今回ね、飲むのコーヒーの豆はチアパスのメヒコの豆だね。ちょっと、このローストはミディアムかな？すいません、なんか、コーヒー入れるの日本語の単語は苦手だから、多分いろんな英語の言葉使うね。その。You wanna try making matcha one day? Me too. I like matcha. フリーはどこにいるの？カフェ。うん、喫茶店にいます。ドレミント。How are Mexican beans with acidity? Thankfully, I find that Mexican beans are not as floral and they're more like they can still be bright, but they're not that acid unless they're super dark roasted. Unfortunately, dark roasts are pretty popular, so it's hard finding light roasts from Chiapas beans, at least where I've looked for. Anyways, I'm gonna start with the brewing process. I am using I am doing like a medium fine grind, and also I am gonna be using the Hato switch. For those unfamiliar with it, it's a combination of pour over and immersion brewing. So let's see if I gotta pull out my recipe because I don't have it completely memorized yet. And I gotta start the timer. Oh, I could maybe just pull out a timer here. Do you like sweet coffee? Sometimes. I am not much of a sweet coffee drinker. I don't like drinking it with milk either. I usually prefer dark coffee if I can. I learned that light roast is the most caffeinated and dark is the least because the heat gets rid of some of the caffeine. That is correct. You know your stuff. Do you like black coffee? Yes, I only drink black coffee usually. I'm pouring the hot water and trying to not spill it on me because it's pretty hot. It's not boiling. We don't wanna brew coffee with boiling water. Usually around 90, depending on the roast, 85 to 90 degrees is pretty good. They prefer latte or American style. I prefer pour over. Alright, so we have our timer and our beans, medium fine grind, and we already have our switch ready. And this recipe requires me to close the Hato switch on the first pour. So, where's my timer? This is a stopwatch. Stopwatch is better. Okay. So, いくよ. I'm sorry for the lack of visuals, but it's okay. How are you making it? I am doing it with I am using a Hato switch. It's a variation of the B60. フリオコのおはようございます。みんな早起きしたね。偉い。Alright. We are doing the forced pour up to 50 grams. And then we're gonna wait approximately 40 seconds for us to do the second pour. Do you put milk? I do not put milk. 新書カスケードは20万賛成入ったね。マジで感謝してます。My cover of 新書カスケード reached 200,000 views. Thank you very much. And also thank you for the congratulations satellite reaching 500,000. Can we make a million? That would be great. It's still unbelievable. Okay, 40 seconds passed. We turn the switch off. Or we open the switch and now we pour up to 120 grams. So that should be another extra 80 grams. Okay, there you go. Now we need to wait a few more seconds so that we can do the third pour at 1 minute and 30. みんなを祝福してくれてありがとう。Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the congratulations. I feel like you because of the cover video. Thank you. 毎日来てるよ。よかったね。Alright. So we need 10 more seconds and then we can do our next pour. That should be around another 80 grams. There you go. Okay. I'm sorry, I cannot. よいしょ。200 grams so far. 何時？今は、15時に15分。What's your favorite coffee? I like coffee with sweeter notes. I don't have a specific bean that I like the most. Coffee and milk? I don't do milk. And now it's been 2 minutes and 10 seconds. We can close it again. And we're gonna fill the coffee all the way to 300 grams. I forgot to mention, I do a 20 grams to 300 milliliters ratio of coffee to water. There you go. You drink up black coffee? Yes. That's what I do. Are you not fond of sweet? Usually, if I want something sweet, I'll eat something sweet with the coffee. What would you recommend for a beginner coffee drinker? I would say don't push yourself to try and drink black coffee. It's okay. You can start maybe with just coffee and milk if you're used to coffee with milk and sugar. And then you start removing the sugar, then you start removing the milk, and you can slowly get into it. And then make sure you drink like actually properly brewed coffee, because badly brewed black coffee is not gonna taste nice, and that's what a lot of people are used to, because it's like the office, the convenience store coffee. Do you use sweeteners? I do not use sweeteners. How do you feel about instant coffee? I am not a fan. All right, we are done with the brewing process, and we're just gonna wait for the we open the switch and we make sure all the brewed coffee gets into our cup. In general, do you prefer sweet or savory? I prefer either savory or bitter. Yeah, pre-grinded coffee is not that nice. I like grinding my own coffee. Do you like microwave coffee? Absolutely not. コーヒーと一緒に何か食べる？普通に甘いパンとか食べるのが好き。コーヒー苦手すぎるけど、フリオみたいにブラックコーヒーが飲めるようにそうなの。いろいろブラックコーヒーの種類があるから絶対に飲めるのはあると思う。There's also like a huge variation of black coffee. Black coffee does not taste the same. So if you think you might not be good with it, it might be just you haven't tried the right one. I know Seible is not very used to black coffee, but the once I made him try, he said it tasted nice. Have you tried any instant coffee in Japan? There is. Okay, I guess since I finished brewing, I can start talking about my stories with Japan. First, let me put the equipment away. Make sure I don't make a mess. Risha, which black coffee are you drinking? I'm drinking a medium roast from Chiapas, and I think it's just a normal wash processing. Okay, my chat is working again on OBS. But a coffee jelly? Coffee jelly's nice. Blend or single origin? This is single origin, but I like blends. I think single origins are sometimes a little bit overrated. Nada mejor que un pan dulce rico con un cafecito caliente, sí, ¿no? Coffee with butter? Yeah, not a fan. Coffee doesn't need anything else than it's a proper brewing process. You prefer hot or iced coffee? I prefer hot, but during summer I like iced. I like doing iced pour over. What's the most interesting coffee bean you ever taste? I'll bring it up because I tasted a really interesting one in Japan. 毎日コーヒーを飲みますか？病気になるとき飲まないけど、普通に毎日飲めるのが好き。飲むのが好き。Eat sweets with coffee or not? If I'm just drinking my daily coffee, I like to eat sweets with it. If I am tasting like fancier coffee, I like to drink it by myself. Eh, マジで勉強頑張るの決めた。よかった。僕のおかげで。マジで感動するわ。Alright. Anyways, I'm gonna try and stick on topic because I'm getting asked a lot of questions and I'm gonna get sidetracked. But I was asked if I tried instant coffee in Japan, and I did not. I avoid instant coffee the most I can. However, there was this kind of these drip coffee bags that you could buy, and I was gifted also. And they were super convenient because it's like doing your own pour over on like a mini bag. And it tastes much better than instant. It's so convenient. You can just pour hot water on it. You don't need any fancy equipment. It's like a little bag with already like grinded coffee on it, but it's not instant. I was gifted like a mocha one and one that's meant to be eaten with bread. The Pantoao coffee was really good. It was called like... It was just called that, Pantoao coffee. I would love to try that. It's so convenient. It's like, I think they're called like pour over coffee bags. とね、日本に行った時に、なんか、初めて、なんかインスタントコーヒーじゃなくて、ドリップコーヒーの、なんか、袋みたいな感じ、飲んでみたね。マジで役に立つわ。Oh, hi Kaelix. Please, retire from instant. なんかいろいろ飲んでみた。パンと青コーヒーと、なんか、名前忘れちゃったけど、モーカの味やった。デボネマル。You like coffee flavored candy sometimes? I'd rather drink coffee than eat it. Wishing you an epic cup of coffee. Thank you. じゃあ、入れたのコーヒーを飲んでみよう。Let's try the coffee we just brew. It tastes like the Chiapas coffee I always make. It's not very floral or bright. I think it's more of a medium dark roast, honestly. It's not my favorite, but it's nice to drink daily without having to think too much about it. It tastes like Chiapas. Yeah, basically. It's like my staple, you know? I get like huge bags and I can just do that daily, and then I save my fancier beans for special occasions, which unfortunately I did not 美味しい？普通に美味しい。なんかこの豆は毎日飲むからただいつも通りの味あるねと思ってた。Any coffees from other countries you consider trying next? I would love to try. I think someone asked geisha from Panama, geisha panameño. I would want to try that. Try to sniff the coffee scent. I did. I always sniff it before I drink. The best thing's familiar? Yeah. Unfortunately, like I really wanted to save and maybe drink the coffee I bought from Japan, because I did buy coffee to bring with me, the beans. But unfortunately, coffee beans go bad with time. So I just decided to drink it while it was good. Favorite coffee dessert? Tiramisu. ¿Has probado el colombiano? Sí, el colombiano es bueno. De hecho, lo probé en Japón también. how do you grind your coffee beans? I use a Tim Moore C2. And I usually do like a medium fine. Wait, no, actually, recently I switched from medium fine to medium coarse. Have you tried it with honey before? I don't like honey on coffee. Or tea. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? At most 2. I don't drink a lot of coffee a day. I love it a lot, but I don't find the need to drink that much. Coffee is not that good for singing also because of the caffeine. So I and also for streaming, I try to like not drink too much. ¿No te gusta la miel y que eso sí te duele la garganta? No me gusta la miel en el té ni en el café. Pero pues a veces nada más por... Si ando enfermito o algo, pues sí. Starbucks or Dunkin'? Neither. I don't usually go to stores to buy coffee. La cafeína te seca la garganta. También por eso el té verde no es bueno para hacer directos o para cantar. Does caffeine affect you? Absolutely not. おすすめのコーヒーがありますか？まあ、人によるね。ただ、いろいろ試してみておすすめ。多分、ローストだったら、ライトローストが一番おすすめかも。It doesn't affect your sleep? Absolutely not. Black caramel latte? It's okay. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink sweet coffee that much. But anyways, let's move forward. Now that we have our coffee, and we can start our chat regarding the stores we went to Japan. Honestly, I cannot give too many details about what we did in Japan. You guys can just know that I met by the beat the members and I met staff. And I went to this trip. This was my first time going to Japan. And it was in my mindset of this is a work trip. So I didn't have many things I wanted to do. But I did have a few list of places that I wanted to visit for coffee. And fortunately, I was able to go to a few of them. I went to a total of 4 specialty coffee stores. And I remember the first time we went to a place in Shibuya called Chatei Hato. I took, it was around 7 p.m. So it was kind of late. And I asked the guys, I know it's late, but do you guys want coffee? Because we didn't know where to go in Shibuya. And I'm like, okay, fine. If you guys don't know, then I'll take you to my place. And I took them to this really nice place called Chatei Hato. It was a very cozy, small, like, kind of like a pub. Very Victorian style in a way. Very traditional. And this place is popular because it roasts its beans with charcoal. コップかわいいね。うん。なんかこの喫茶店はマジで可愛かった。This place is also known for its cheesecake. It's fluffy cheesecake. Which, if you guys have been paying attention to By the Beat, it caught Kaelix's attention. In this store, I ordered a Kilimanjaro. I don't know how to pronounce this. Kilimanjaro roast bean. It comes from Tanzania. And it was pretty full-bodied. It was kind of like... It had notes of like caramel or brown sugar, if I remember correctly. It was more sweet than floral or bright. But it was very nice. I believe Kaelix didn't want to drink that late because caffeine does affect him. So he didn't get coffee, even though he does like coffee. And I think he got tea. You got tea, right, Kaelix? And then he got cheesecake as well. I believe Zeal asked me to recommend him coffee because he's used to his microwave coffee. And I just recommended him the original blend. The Hato original blend. for him to try. It was probably the safest choice. And then I think Seible, since he's not used to black coffee, he ordered either an iced cappuccino or a iced café chocolat. I don't remember. But he ordered an iced drink with milk. It was very nice. We spent like this was probably like the first time we spent alone without staff. And it was the first time I think I realized I can talk with these guys for so long. Because I think there was a line to enter the place when we were already seated. And we just spent talking for like 3 hours about music, about like our plans, what we wanted to do. It was very nice. It was really when I realized, wow, time flies really fast with these guys. And I'm always very grateful that I'm in a group with people I'm so comfortable with. And I think we could have kept going. We only stopped because we realized there was a wait and we felt bad. We didn't want to keep people waiting. 仲良し。なんかね、この喫茶店に行った時に初めて、なんかやっぱりドキと過ごすのが楽だと思ってた。簡単だった。ずっと話せたね。なんか3時間ぐらいで話せた。けど、もう外で人を集まってたから、なんかちょっとじゃあ行こうかなって思ってた。けど続けてた。マジで続けてた。What was your first impression of the members? I believe I've already mentioned that, so I'm sorry. This is like a coffee Zatsu, but maybe if we have time, I'll bring it up again. There's a few clips though. I've already brought it up. I'm sorry. たくさん話せてのいいね。マジでいい。There's kind of people, you know, I'm an introvert, to be honest. And depending... I am usually the one that with social interactions, I get socially drained. It doesn't mean that I don't like being with people. I enjoy socializing as much as anyone else. However, I do have a... I do get tired, I do get drained. However, with By the Beat, it's been so many times where we've been like just calling or talking for like 8 hours, 9 hours, and the social battery doesn't deplete. So once again, always grateful, very grateful. Someone asked me what's my favorite memory in Japan, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to choose one, but I think this first coffee shop when I realized like, oh, I kind of like these guys was one of the first ones. And also because like, I mean, they let me take them to a coffee place, you know. Anyways, next, unfortunately, during the trip, the second day, the day after this, the day after we went to the shop, Kaelix got really sick. He had to stay in bed and he couldn't go out. I think, I don't know if they've mentioned it yet. I thought it was really cute. I was sleeping, so I didn't do anything. But Seible and Zeal got worried for him. And they both went to the 7-Eleven to get him a care package of like medicine, warm stuff to eat, snacks. But they didn't plan to do it together. They just both like stumbled upon each other at the 7-Eleven because they both had the same plan to go buy something for Kaelix. And I thought that was like super cute. I kind of felt bad because like, damn, they were doing so much for him while I was just sleeping. Tokyo でショッピングした。あまりショッピングしなかったね。ただ、喫茶店に行ってた。また日本来る？また行きたいね。いつか。Are you particular about coffee cups? I can appreciate a nice cup. Actually, next I'm gonna show a cup that I really liked. But, I mean, it's not the deal breaker if I'm served coffee in a cup that I don't like that much. Do you have a favorite mug? The mug I'm using right now is shaped after a Game Boy Color, and when you put hot liquid in it, it lights on like the screen. It's very cute. Anyways, so unfortunately, Kaelix got sick, and he couldn't go out with us on a free day we had. So regardless, I did take the guys because I asked them if they wanted to go to another coffee shop because apparently they liked the experience of the first one. So we went to Jinbocho. That was my favorite place in Tokyo, by the way. I brought them to this place called Glitch Coffee in Jinbocho. This is kind of like a very popular store. It has I think there were a lot of foreigners in it actually, because I think in coffee communities it's known to be like a very like the top of the line when it comes to like specialty coffee. It was super nice. It was super nice. We had to do a line for it also. And this is what I mean. I really like this kind of cup. It was very pretty. 綺麗なカップですね。このカップの一番好きだった。マジでおしゃれだったね。The staff all completely spoke English, and they would like carefully explain which kind of beans they could recommend you, the brewing process. It was very interesting. I couldn't see the brewing process for the Chatei Hato store, but I could see the brewing process for here. And while they did pour over, of course, it seemed like they used a combination of immersion. What's the long one for? The long one is more coffee that you can add after it starts getting cold. And then once you do it, the flavor should change depending on the temperature. Because coffee does not taste the same when it's recently brewed than when it's cooled down, right? It's kind of like a refill, but it's supposed to be more like a compliment. It was very nice. So I'm gonna explain the coffee I got. So I got the Ethiopia Sidama Hamiru Chilaka. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's from Ethiopia, of course. And it's... maybe I should explain the processing of coffee first, because honey anaerobic might be a little bit hard to explain without it. So I'm gonna briefly explain the types of coffee bean processing. There are 3 main types. There's the washed process, which is the main one, or not the main one, but the most commonly used commercially. It is basically just removing the outer skin and the pulp of the coffee cherry completely. Then it's fermented, it's cleaned, it's fermented, and then it's washed and then fermented, I think. And it tends to be pretty clean, very bright, very easy to drink. That's why it's the most popular one. And I think it's the most commercial one as well. Then there's the natural process. The natural process has the coffee dried before the fruit is removed from the beans. It does not remove the pulp or anything. And it lets it ferment by itself, right? And that way, usually the natural coffee process beans have more of a fuller, fruitier flavor. And then, interestingly, there's the middle point. The honey process, which is like a hybrid of washed and natural. And what it does is they leave some of the pulp in the beans from the coffee cherry while they dry. And then it has like it can have like a bright combination, like a bright taste, but still it has more of a fruitier flavor than natural wash. And now this is the coffee I drank here, English coffee, was a variation called honey anaerobic. And what they do is that after they remove some of the cherry, leaving some pulp in it, they vacuum seal it either in a tank or in a container so that there's no oxygen in the coffee. That's what it means by anaerobic. And that can affect the flavor as well. How? I am not sure, but I'm just familiar with how that process works. How do you learn so much about coffee? I just like it, so I investigated. ごめんね、この複雑の説明は日本語でできないかもね。けどいろんなコーヒーのプロセスの方法がある。なんか普通にナチュラル、ホニーとワッシュ。英語で呼ぶのあるね。今回はホニーだった。グリッチコーヒー。Would you recommend Glitch Coffee? I would. I think this was my favorite store in terms of the coffee flavor. It can be kind of pricey, but I think it's worth it. So, the specifications say that the taste notes are orange tea, brown sugar, red grape, and it has a smooth and sweet finish. Since I often prefer sweeter notes than floral notes or fruity notes, I wanted to try this one, and it was very nice. It definitely was very smooth. And I think out of the 3 notes, I tasted brown sugar the most. It was very nice. I thought the stream was about chatting with a cup of coffee. Now I'm learning about brewing coffee and I kind of like it. Since it's the first time, I think I could like show you guys a little bit more. But maybe in the future, or most likely in the future, the coffee stats are just gonna be us talking while I drink coffee. Affogato 好きですか？好きです。Are you guys familiar with affogatos? It's basically the sort where you pour black coffee onto ice cream. It's pretty nice. But anyways, going back, this was the coffee I ordered. If I scooch a little bit here, you can see the COL. That was Zeal's coffee. He ordered a Colombian. I don't remember the specifics behind his, but I remember it was pretty nice. And then if I get rid of my info, you can see the little logo that's Seible. He ordered a latte with one of the beans. Then, since we got curious, we also tried each other's cups. And I'm pretty sure I like mine the most. But I remember Zeal's tasting very nicely also. And the latte was bad, but I mean, the latte was not bad. It was nice. But I'm not that into latte, so it just tasted like a pretty good latte to me. これでコロンビアか。そうだね。ジールがコロンビアのコーヒーの豆を頼んだ、今回。僕はエチオピアだけどね。Once again, while Kaelix wasn't here, in his honor, we also had our fair share of chatting. He was very nice. I think this was an opportunity to know especially Seible better. Because while we had talked a little bit more, we didn't have as much time to chat compared to me with the other members. But it was very nice. I definitely got way more comfortable with Seible after this specific shop. It's called You Know So Much About Coffee. It's because I like it, you know. It's my coffee. It's my hobby, I mean. I'm not a pro. I still have a lot of things to learn. And I don't even have proper equipment. But in the future, I would love to get actual pro equipment so I can show you guys. Maybe take pictures of the cups I brew. Get really fancy cups. Right now my setup is not fancy. I do not have a proper coffee weight. I do not have a proper coffee kettle. But I'm doing the best with what I can. Because I still really like coffee. Do you like Arabica? Yeah, of course. The most common type of beans. Is there any kind of coffee that even first-timers can drink? Oh, I'll get to that in a bit. Where do you prefer your coffee beans from? I like Ethiopia a lot. But I also really like Costa Rica for coffee beans. So I hear like country... I really want to try more Colombian. I have tried Colombian, but not enough. And I know Panama is very famous, especially for their geisha. So I would like to try that also. I love Ethiopian coffee. You have taste. Uki. I know Uki's also very much into drip coffee. So it would be really nice to like share a cup with senpai sometimes. Maybe compare or something. So like I mentioned, we all tasted each other's coffee. I think mine was sweeter and Zeal's was more like fruitier. I really forgot the notes of his. But I think Zeal's already mentioned it on the stream. He got a little bit weird about it because they started going like, is this like an indirect kiss? Just sharing a drink. Be normal. It's just sharing a drink. We're just trying it out. We didn't drink from the same side of the cup. Wait, it wasn't Zeal. It was Seible who mentioned it, right? I don't know. I think like, at least in my culture, it's very common to just like share drinks or share food if you want to try something. Of course, from like a different side of the cup. So I never really thought too much about it. Like, just be normal. Be normal.コーヒー牛乳は飲まなかった。コーヒーに牛乳入るのが好きじゃない、あまり。飲めるけど、ラテとかけど、普通にブラックの方が好きかも。ブラックコーヒー苦手だけど、なんか最初時に僕も苦手だったね。普通に、なんかミルクや砂糖つけてたね。けど、ゆっくり砂糖つけなくて、ミルクでだけで飲んでて、そろそろブラックになれたね。I was explaining that I was not always a black coffee drinker. I used to drink it with milk and sugar. But then I really wanted to try like experiencing actual coffee. So I got rid of the sugar first and drank it with only milk. And then I also slowly started removing the milk. And now I just only drink it black. ブラック好きなんだ、なんかかっこいい。そう、それは普通だと思うけど。Once you try good filter coffee, you won't go back? Absolutely. It's not just about the type of beans, but it's also the type of brewing you do. A lot of like cheap coffee machines don't brew coffee well. They're just made for you to have fast coffee. So that's why a lot of people have like a bad image of black coffee. But once you know, it's kind of way easier to drink. Are there any good tutorials you recommend? I would recommend looking up a V60 tutorial. That's probably the easiest way to do your own pour over coffee. What's your thoughts about Zeal Coffee reheating his black coffee? I went out of my way to take Zeal to this really nice shop. And this is how he pays it back. He liked it. He really liked it. Only to go back home, brew coffee in a huge pot, put it in the fridge, and then heat it back. Either way. So, the day we had the day we went to Glitch Coffee to this store, it was a free day. And after going to this store, we separated. I believe Seible and Zeal went to Akihabara. And I remained alone in Jinbocho because I wanted to go to more stores. So I went to the next store, which was Pharos Coffee. I am covering the note, but it's okay. I cropped it in and I can add it here. This was a very interesting coffee, which I would very much recommend for beginners. This is, I think, it's using a different process of bean. It's still honey in the way that it's a hybrid between natural and wash. However, it's not using the anaerobic method, which is vacuum sealing it. This one uses the raisin honey method, which means they sun dry the coffee cherry until it's almost like a raisin. And then after it resembles a raisin, they get rid of they remove the skin and they ferment it again. And this specific coffee, it's called the Kane Musician Mozart. It was it's aged, or is it aged? It is aged in a rum barrel for like 3 months. I remember this coffee tasting. Oh wait, no, this is not aged in a rum barrel. Sorry, it's the next one. This one's not aged. Sorry. I'm confusing my coffees. This one's not aged at all. But what I found very interesting about this coffee was that it had a very strong strawberry taste. It had a very fragrant rose scent, but the taste was very much like strawberry. It was probably the sweetest black coffee I've ever had. I thought maybe a beginner would like this because it's not bitter at all. It was very easy to drink, and I don't like strawberry. But I got really curious because of the grapefruit flavor also. And while I do taste the grapefruit notes, strawberry was definitely the thing that stood out of the notes. It was very nice. And I don't know if the lighting kind of affects it. It's a different store in the end. However, this coffee was significantly darker than the one I had in Glitch Coffee, for example. It was very nice. It really was very nice. This would not be a coffee that I would drink with something sweet, though, like with sweet bread. 初コメは緊張ですけど、ツットンしてます。なんで緊張してるの？ぜひコメントしてもいいです。日本語や英語でも気にしないでくれ。ありがとう。But yeah, this was very dark, and this would not be a coffee that I would drink with like sweet bread because it's already kind of sweet. Hmm? お店誰がチョイスしたの？僕が。このお店に、前のお店より僕は一人に入ったから。この時に一人ぼっちだったよ。セイブルとジルが秋葉原に行ってたから。Out of 10, what you're grading of this coffee? I don't like grading coffees. It's very different. It was just a nice experience. For my personal taste, I like the glitch coffee the most, though. Oishikatta 美味しかったからおすすめしたの？うん。多分、このコーヒーはブラックコーヒー苦手の人におすすめする。絶対に飲めると思う。あまり苦かないからね。甘かったから。一人カフェいいね。うん。安心するわ。飲みやすいんだ。うん、マジで飲みやすかった。Did you try another coffee in this shop? I did not at the shop. However, I really like these beans, so I really wanted to try something else. So, I bought another variation for me to brew at home, which was another bean from Costa Rica called Mirasu Rum Barrel Raisin Honey. This one's also a raisin honey process. However, it has very different tasting notes, and this is the one that's aged in a rum barrel for 3 months. It was very interesting. The tasting notes were like maraschino cherry, rum, grape gummy, and oak. And something that really stood out about this coffee, and I'm really glad I bought it when I brewed it at home, was that maybe it's because it's aged in the rum barrel and it has the cherry and grape notes. It almost tasted wine-like. It had a kind of like alcoholic vibe to it. Not vibe, but like note to it. なんかちょっとワインの味に似てたね。これはなんか急いじゃなかったね。これはなんか帰った時に飲むためにお豆買ったね。カップじゃないよ。豆だよ。150g の豆の袋だったよ。カップ一つだったら高いね、やっぱり。Yeah, I didn't. This was not the price of the cup. This was just the price of the beans. Are you gonna get drunk when you drink it? No, it's just a slight taste. It's a slight note. It's coffee. It's coffee. It's not alcohol. Mm, 多分僕のカップは普通に 20g で入れてるから、It's not $30. We gotta take into account the yen exchange rate. Probably 7や8のカップぐらいできたね。入れてた。そう。7ぐらい。¿No esperas el té de sultana? Sí, está bastante bueno, ¿eh? Prefiero tomar café que tomar té de sultana, pero igual está bueno. Was the store location in Tokyo? This store was in Tokyo, yeah. These are all in Tokyo, in Jinbocho. Freo のコーヒーグラインダーは程度？程度だよ。I'm gonna write the coffee grinder I use. 僕の見るグラインダー？グラインダー。これは高くないのやつね。いつかコマンダンテを買いたい。I wanna buy the Comandante grinder one day. Does it have an aftertaste? I think the one I bought has a strong cherry aftertaste after the wine-like flavor. The one I had on the store, the one that has like the strawberry taste, it was mostly just strawberry. I could see a little bit of the grapefruit, but it was mostly strawberry. Did they have the beans from Panama? No, they didn't. This store mainly had Costa Rica beans, actually. The price for the cup or the bag of beans? The bag of beans. 150 grams.手の見るが一番テンション上がるね。手の見るがのクオリティの一番高いかな。I sent Comandante to my father on Father's Day. Yeah. Oh, that's an awesome gift. They're like $300 though. Nice. 一番好きなどれ？一番好きなのは神保町のグリッシュコーヒーのやつ。前言ってたね。前話したのこと。まあそんで同じ見る方はナイス。 Which country has the best coffee beans for you? I have not tried enough for me to be able to say I have a favorite. But I tend to like Costa Rica beans. So that was Pharos Coffee in Jinbocho. Since we had a busy schedule, I couldn't go to like another specialty coffee by myself after. Another specialty coffee store. However, sometime later, almost close to when we had to go back, Kaelix was feeling better. So we were able to go to another store. And this time we went to Ikebukuro. All together as by the beat. And the place we went to was this place in Ikebukuro called Mermaid Coffee Roasters. It was very nice because look at that. When you entered the store, there were a lot of samples that you could try. There were little cups, as you can see in the left. Where's my mark? Oh. There you go. There were a few cups. And you could see the bean grind. And you could the prices and the different types of coffee that you could try. It was very nice. There are a few blends, the explanations of where they were from. It was a very cute store. Mermaid Coffee だ。行ったことあるの? Have you guys gone to this store in Japan? マジで可愛かったこの喫茶店。Nice to know that coffees are more interesting than I thought. Coffees are super interesting. These are all coffee. Cold or hot coffee? Hot. It's hot. Do you buy any to take home? Not from this store. I only bought from Pharos Coffee. Usually, if depending on when it's roasted, beans can kind of go bad. So I try to not buy as much and just try different kinds of coffee when I was here. Unfortunately, they had this thing called a coffee cola, which convinced both Zeal and Seible to try instead of any of these nice options. And I don't think they liked it very much. I don't know why they would pick coffee cola instead of all of these. Not even a latte. But Kaelix was the real one this day. And he asked me to pick for him because he was kind of overwhelmed by the options. So I'm gonna show you guys it was not to my taste. Just order coffee. You can get cola in the States or anywhere else. Do you think blonde roast or dark roast is better? I tend to prefer lighter roasts. I think most people that are into pour over, they prefer light roasts. Anyways, this was the coffee I ordered. I took a picture of the information. And it was a coffee from Colombia, called from Huila Peñas Blancas farm. And this was my first geisha that I tried. How do you know these shops before you got there? I knew I was gonna go, so I researched what kind of like recommended stores are there. 日本人でもコラはびっくり。マジでなんかコーヒーコーラに言ってたから、チルとセイブルが飲んでみたかったねけど、二人があまり好きじゃなかったね。普通にコーヒーを頼んだ方がいいと思ってたけど。Geisha such a treat. Geisha was so nice. So, I mean, if I can read the information here, it's from Huila in Colombia. And it's also it's a fermented semi-washed. Semi-washed is another way of calling the honey process, which I already explained earlier. And this was a light roast. You can see like the grind and the beans. And I also was able to see them brew the coffee. I think the clerk was kind of like, maybe even creeped out, like, why is this foreigner staring at me so much, but I just wanted to know their technique. And they use this different like variation of the V60 where they also like do immersion. But they didn't do it like the Switch. It was kind of like the Switch, but it was weird. Because it's the kind of B60 cone that if you like push down, it goes into the coffee. I mean, it goes into the cup. They got creeped out? No, they were... I don't think they got creeped out. Maybe they were like, what is this person doing? But I started asking them questions about the flavors in Japanese, and I think after they realized that I spoke Japanese, they got a little bit more comfortable starting explaining. Could you go a day without coffee? Yeah, I do that sometimes. I like it. It's my favorite drink, but I won't die if I don't drink it. And this was my attempt of having a less sweeter coffee that's like my comfort zone. And this was more of like a floral, bright coffee. And I usually try to avoid it because they're kind of like acid. The acidity, I'm not that into it. But this was pretty nice. It was very easy to drink. And I did... It was very fruit-like also, which was very new. Very new to me. Nihonji でも知らないことが多かったね。まあ多分、こんなにコーヒーのオタクしか詳しくないかも。初見です。かっこいいです。言ってくれてありがとう。When did you discover this passion for coffee? I've drank coffee since very young. My grandma used to give it to me with milk. But I think once I started like I guess my late teens I started drinking more and more. And on my early adult years I switched to black coffee. I'm a tea drinker. I love tea also. ゆいちゃんおはよう。おはようございます。みんな早起きして偉いね。もしか、ひょっとして、僕の配信を見るために起きて感謝するわ。ありがとうございます。What's your favorite tea? I like mint. I like mint a lot. I like Rubios a lot. I like black tea a lot. Earl Grey. Freo 君のオリジナルコーヒーをいつか作ってほしい。いいじゃん。いつか。フリオドールの豆。They're asking like me, oh, it would be nice if you could release your own beans someday. You prefer fruity or naughty? I prefer sweet. I prefer notes of chocolate, caramel, or there was this really nice coffee from Veracruz that I tried once that had notes of dulce de leche. It was super nice. I think that's one of the favorites I've had from Mexican beans. Freo 君のコラボコーヒー飲んでみたい。じゃあ僕も飲んでみたいね。パンドゥルセに合うコーヒーに入れてほしい。多分、著作権って気をつけないとけど。And anyways, going back to topic. Kaelix asked me if I could recommend him some. So I just bought him. I treated him myself to this variation. Also from Colombia, it's called Aroma Nativo. And this one's not a geisha. It's an aji. And it uses a hydro honey process. Hydro honey is probably the most complicated processing and the most modern one. It's a combination of like all the three processes where it's like it's dried completely naturally and fermented, then it's rehydrated, it's washed, and then it's depulped, and then it's dried again. It's like the most time consuming one. What does it mean being a geisha? Geisha is just a type of coffee bean. Do you think you caught on to proper Japanese pronunciation quicker because it's similar to Spanish? I think it has an influence, yeah. However, my intonation's not great in Japanese. I still make a lot of mistakes, and I think my Japanese still sounds very foreigner-like. Anyways, so I ordered this for Kaelix because he said he does like fruity kind of coffees more. And I saw that this one had like mango, mandarin, and honey notes. And a long-lasting sweetness, apparently, it says. So I thought it would be a good fit for him. And we were both having Colombian, so. I did try it for a little bit. He was sick, so we didn't want to share a cup. So I tried it before he started drinking it. And it was definitely fruitier. I enjoyed it as much, not as much as mine. But it was pretty nice for people that really like fruity flavors. I think the mandarin stood out a little bit more than the mango. But it was nice. That's my first time hearing doesn't make it less acidic. I think more about it could be. I think it gives it a brighter flavor for sure. But acidity can also be controlled through the brewing process. 日本語綺麗ですよね、発音も。ありがとね。なんか聞こえたらマジで外国人っぽいと思う。なんかボイスグーズを録音するときに日本語でね。だって日本語のボイスグーズも参加してるから。いつもやっぱりこれはナチュラルっぽくないね。そしていろいろリテイクして困ってるよ。Have you got a coffee sponsorship stream in the future? That would be cool. I hope so too. Let's manifest it. Have you tried bubble milk tea? Yeah, it's nice. I like it with no sugar. What do you think about decaf coffee? I haven't tried enough, but it's a nice option for people that are weak to caffeine. Fortunately for me, caffeine does not have an influence. So I can drink at night and it will be fine. And so yeah, these were the coffee cups we ordered. This was Kaelix's and this was mine. And this was how the cup I drank looked like. The mermaid seemed kind of cold because she was not wearing any clothes, so I gave her a little sweater. But we got really cute ceramic cups with the store logo in it. That means coffee can't make you stay awake? Yeah, it really doesn't have an effect on me like that. I drink coffee because I like the taste. なんかこの人魚は寒そうから彼女のためにスウェッター作ったね。プレゼントだったよ。Coffee helps me sleep sometimes. Is there something wrong with me? No, actually, the effect that caffeine, that coffee has on you, is that it will help you wake up, but then it would also bring you down. That's similar for an effect that energy drinks do with you. If you actually want to stay up, then black tea is actually better. Black teas does not have that component bring you down. It will keep you up more than actual coffee. If sweet black tea will help too, I mean, I think so. Es real sobrevivir la universidad, puro tecito. Otsu por sobrevivir la universidad. Vale la pena. Does matcha also help you stay awake? I think so. But maybe not as much as black coffee. I mean, as black tea. デザイナーだからね。デザイナーだからね、セーター作ったね。かわいいでしょ。マジで絵を描くのは 苦手って言ってたから。もう見えるでしょ。Eso explica por qué me cuesta dormir tanto vivo a base de puro té negro. Dios. Pues podrías intentar no tomar tanto a ver qué tal. I'm really impressed with how you switch between 3 languages so fluently. I try to include as much people as I can in my community. I would like to make this a multilingual, multicultural community where we can all learn from each other. さすがデザイナー。いやいやいや。Justo estoy tomando café para estudiar. Mucha suerte en tus estudios. What do you think about herbal tea? It's my staple. I drink it almost every day also. I drink it while I stream as well because caffeine dries up your throat, so I do not like to drink coffee while I stream or while I sing. Freo 君の日本語大好き。なんか多分日本語はもっと上手くなったら普通に上手くなるからもう構わないかな。普通になったからね。今ちょっと片言の部分が多いからたどたどしいの部分が多いから。You like matcha? Yeah, I like matcha. It's not like my obsession, but まだまだね。そうだね。初見いらっしゃい。Do you pair this coffee with their scones or cookies? Oh, have you gone here? Have you tried any of their pastries? I did not. I actually did not try any of these coffees with food because I wanted to try the coffees by themselves. If I'm tasting a fancy coffee for the first time, I try to avoid eating something with it. 日本語上手だと思う。ありがとう。楽しいのも可愛いよけど。なんか褒められるのは嬉しいけど、いつかかっこよくなりたいもんね。可愛いだけじゃなく。カフェ。初見です。Spanish と English と Japanese 使い分けながら発音するのすごいです。頑張ってるね。I'm doing my best. 日本語ばかりになったよ。But basically, these were the 4 stores that I visited. And overall, if I had to pick just one, then I would go back to Glitch Coffee as my favorite. I really like the design of the cups, the flavor of the coffee, and the experience going there because it's full of, the staff members are all super knowledgeable. They'll explain anything you need to know in English. I think once they found out we spoke Japanese, they started speaking Japanese to us also. But since a lot of foreigners come to this store, since it's very famous overseas, they have fully capable English staff. Have a decent understanding of all 3 of your primary language? Hey, that's so cool. I don't think you see a lot of... or maybe it's just me in the space that I am online, but I don't often see a lot of Spanish and Japanese speakers around here. So I'm always like very happy to see people that can do both. I want to visit this cafe one day. Thank you for the Rex. Yeah. なんかもうブラックコフィーになれたらこの喫茶店に一番おすすめする。ブラックコフィーはあんまり飲まなくて苦手だったら こちらのおすすめです。ファロスのCane Musician Mozart Racing Honey おすすめです。甘いから。ブラックなのに甘いから。For people that are not used to black coffee, once again, I recommend this variation of the racing honey processing, the musician Mozart from Pharos in Jinbocho. Half Japanese and half Mexican, so I can also do both. Makes me happy to see the mix of languages. Hey! That's so nice I can get exposed to both. If you come to Japan, try Kiyosumi Shirakawa. There's lots of coffee. There were a lot of stores that I couldn't go to. Let me see if I can remember some of the names. I think I had a list. I think also Reddit, the platform, has some recommendations. Freo の日本はセーブル君の影響を受けてるのかな。たまに関西弁のイントネーションで寝てにこりそう。かもね。けど日本語を勉強するのを始めたの時にいろいろなんか関西人と会話してたからね。多分いろいろ癖を引いた。セーブルの会う前に。だってセーブルは僕と話すときあまり関西弁で話さないね。別にグループで話してるから英語でばっかり。関西弁助かるけど、僕の日本語はあんまり関西弁じゃないね。時々少し出るけど、フリオ県だよ。フリオ県じゃなくてフリオ弁だよ。Have you learned Japanese? I studied the basics like formally in a classroom setting, and then I just conversed my way into getting conversational. I used a lot of translation and dictionaries at first, but slowly I was able to become conversational. フリオ弁いいよね。Do you read kanji well? Somewhat. There's a lot I can read, there's a lot I cannot read. I think my main problem with Japanese right now is that while I can get my thoughts across, I cannot do it in a natural way. Because you know that when you are learning to speak another language, you need to start thinking in that language. But sometimes I get frustrated and I start thinking in English or in Spanish. And the way I say things might make sense in English or in Spanish, but then they won't make a lot of sense in Japanese, or they would sound broken in Japanese. There's also the issue that Japan has a lot of words that might have the same meaning, the same literal meaning, but depending on the nuance, depending on the situation, you have to use a certain one. Like I was talking to Seible earlier, the difference between kantetsu, yofukashi, and tetsuya, which all have like, or all are related to like having a no-liner. もう配信では話したことあるけどね。なんか僕の一番困るのことは、なんか使ってるのことはね、同じ意味の言葉があるからけどニュアンスによるで別のことは使わないといけないね。けど僕はなんかその感覚センスないね。やっぱり外国人だもんね。だからなんかニュアンスにやってないの言葉使う。 この前、セイブル君と話してたね。なんか、貫徹と、徹夜と、夜更かしの違いとか。そして、混乱と混迷とか。反と返信、答えるとか。You can get it someday. I think I just need to like be more exposed to it. How long did it take you to learn Japanese? Japanese is an eternal process for me. I'm still learning. I'm not done. Have you ever taken an exam like JLPT? No, I have not. When I was learning Japanese, or as I'm learning Japanese, my priority is to be able to just speak it. So I don't really mind the academic aspect that much. 日本語でもわからない。でも日本人はなんか感覚で使えるね、あの言葉。雰囲気で日本語を話してるね。そうだね。ニュアンスが大事の言語だよ。How fast can you type on a Japanese T9 keyboard? I type with a Romaji setting, personally. Jap 中国語よりはマシじゃない。中国語はなんか文法と言葉の使い方は簡単だと思ってた。中国語の一番難しいのはなんか半数を覚えること、そしてイントネーションね。中国語のイントネーションが難しい。リスニングも難しい。Do you know how to speak coffee in Mandarin? 咖啡ね。我喜欢我喜欢咖啡。我吃日本的咖啡了。I don't know. I'm trying. I only started very, very basic Mandarin, so. And I didn't use it much, so I don't remember a lot. Do you try human beans? They're so good? No, do you have any recommendations of the variations? What languages have you tried learning, been interested in learning? Other than English, Spanish, and Japanese, I have studied French, Korean, and Mandarin Chinese in the past. I have completely forgotten Korean. Mandarin, I can remember a few things, and then French, I also forgot everything. Because, I mean, if you study languages for a bit, if you don't use them, you'll forget. Jungwen, I think that's Hatsun Kuai. Chugoku no Hatsun Kawaii. Yeah, okay, it was Hatsun. Kuai. So, I see. Why you choose to learn Mandarin before? Because the place where I was studying Japanese didn't have any further Japanese courses. So I thought, okay, if I study Mandarin, then maybe I can learn more kanji. But in the end, I also really like Mandarin. I think it's a beautiful sounding language. And I really got into it because I got into a survival show called Chuang 2021. Or Produce Camp. And one of my Chinese idol Oshis called Liu Yu only speaks Chinese, and I wanted to like learn to understand him more. I really like Liu Yu and Zhou Zhenan from China. They're pretty cool idols. Zhou Zhenan's rapping is really awesome. I look up to him a lot. How do you find opportunities to practice languages not commonly spoken near you? I didn't. That's why I forgot. That's why I forgot. That's why I forgot Chinese, Mandarin, and French. There you go. Someone asked for the typing because I may be pronouncing them wrong. Why do you like coffee? Because it tastes good. Are you watching Chuang Asia 2025? I'm not. I've been so busy I cannot watch a lot of shows. However, I am supporting Hu Yatao because he was in Chuang 2021. I hope he debuts. But maybe I should do like an idol Satsu in the future. あなたの話を聞くのはとっても優しいですね。あ、よかったね。ありがとう。Yoshina's really good at rapping. He is. He's one of my inspirations for sure. Do you like Vocaloid? Absolutely. I love Vocaloid. Thank you for a great time. I'm off to work. See you. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. ヒロってどうやって日本語を勉強してるの？今はただ単語を勉強してるね。今も。時々文法はなんか日本語前の知り合いや友達に質問を面倒するけど、セイブル君とか。で普通に今は単語を集中してるね。なんかネットで会話でわからん単語があったらなんかメモして練習するの。覚えるために。セイブル日本語上手だよね。セイブルはネイティブだもんね。Do you know a Chinese VTuber called A? Also, yeah, he's one of my senpais. From Virtual. Of course I know him. He's really good at singing. Do you like anyone else in Chuang 2021? I really like Santa Rikimaru. I liked Oscar a lot also. Kaylin. じゃあ日本語でコメントしようかな。ぜひ。Well, you try to learn Vietnamese. Vietnamese is hard. I know how to say what. Xin chào. Trời ơi. Chắc mặt nạ mối. That's it. 漢字難しくない？難しいよ。けど、覚えるしかないでしょ。How often do you watch survival shows? I usually watch them when they're airing. 日本語の時少し声が高くなるよね。そうだね。多分、なんか他の喋れるの言語より、日本語はもっと鼻声で使うから、ちょっと高くなるね。一番低いなのはスペイン語だ。やっぱり。Have you watched Project 7? I did. 日本人でも漢字読めない。まあやっぱり難しいよね。Maybe now that we're done with the pictures, I can just go to the center here. I will spend more time on practicing languages and all that, but finishing the degree is a priority right now. Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, language learning takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. It's a privilege, honestly. So sometimes if you don't know a language, if you can only speak one language, don't feel too bad about it. It's definitely a luxury and it's definitely a time investment. But as long as you try and you want to do it, you can do it at your own pace. And everyone can do it. Do you use flashcards? I use Anki a lot. The flashcard app. And it's a commitment also. Do you have a favorite donghua? I like Link Click. Tengo que hacer un examen de idioma como requisito para graduarme. Órale, mucha suerte. Any tips on learning Spanish? The grammar might be really hard and complicated compared to English. However, I feel like in Spanish, all the rules make sense and are very consistent. So once you master the grammar, you won't ever make a mistake again.そうなんだ。メキシコの友達にプロベッチョをしてるのって言ったよ。すごいよ。マジで嬉しい。みんながプロベッチョを覚えてくれるのは嬉しすぎるよ。普通使うの言葉になりそう。になるを目指そう。One thing that is hard for me to grasp is that objects have gender in Spanish. Yeah. That is really hard, huh? I think for Japanese speakers that also too. なんかスペイン語を勉強してるの日本語の母国語の人はそれは難しいね。スペイン語で言葉が性別があるからね。名詞が性別があるからちょっと難しいね。何の言葉は男性、何の言葉は女性。やっぱり難しすぎるよそれ。僕もそれはただ感覚で使うけど母国語だから。ベンガンザも覚えたよ。まあプロベッチの方が覚えた方がいいけど。Pues una palabra significa varias cosas. Por ejemplo, banca. Sí. Spanish always speaks so fast. I am sorry. Okay. Debería de intentar hablar más lento el español para los que están aprendiendo. What's today's Spanish word of the day? All right. I'll teach you guys a word today in Spanish, which is pretty easy and it makes sense because of this stream. Café. Coffee. Coffee. Café. 簡単でしょ？一番覚えるですよ、今まで多分。カフェの意味も茶色ね。brown. It can mean brown or it can mean coffee. カフェcon leche. そう。ミルクコーヒー。Very similar to Chinese pronunciation. Yeah, cafe and cafe. 太好了。It's just a word in JP too. I am not in a position to teach Japanese. I'm still learning. How to praise a good tasting coffee in Spanish? That's a little bit more complicated for learners, but maybe it would be like, este café está muy bueno. Este café está muy bueno. Café はカフェじゃない、コーヒー。けどね、スペイン語でなんかカフェとコーヒーの意味もある。あの言葉ね。両方で使える。It's great to see someone who is able to speak Spanish, Japanese, and English too. Unfortunately, my mother, who is fluent in Spanish, always makes fun of me for learning Japanese instead of my Spanish. I mean, that happens, right? Sometimes. But hey, you're making the... Why is it este instead of esta? Café is a male pronoun word. A male gendered word, I mean. So you would use este instead of esta. If you used a feminine word like comida, food, esta comida está muy buena. That's probably the hardest thing for foreign learners. メキシコ留学してたの、すごいよ。おはようございます。おはようございます。How do you know which ones to use though? There's some rules basic rules, like usually if a word ends with with a, it's usually feminine. If a word ends with o, it's usually masculine, but there are some exceptions. For example, the word agua, water, is masculine instead of feminine. But I have to say, a lot of native speakers just do it based on feeling because that's what they're used to. Do you watch telenovelas? Nah, I don't really. Do you? Furio. Sometimes I have arguments with some of my Spanish-speaking friends as well, because we interpret foreign words differently. For example, the word collab. I say el collab. I treat collab as a male word, but I have some Spanish-speaking friends that treat collab as la collab. They treat it as a feminine word. Can you teach me when to use onyomi and when to use kunyomi? I need to teach myself that first also. But I believe... which one is it? I think there was a very easy way to interpret it. And it was, if you see the word with Japanese characters, like with hiragana, usually you use kunyomi. But then if you see the word with other kanji, you use onyomi. But it is very tough to tell. I usually just try to remember and memorize the words. Tabun, 日本語文法でよく困ってるの部分はやっぱり用詞だね。よし。時々にとでどれを使った方がいいかなって悩む。困る。そして時々なんかさっき習ったね、学んだ。なんか動詞の後でなんかのとのおとどっちを使った方がいいかなって思ってたけどもうわかると思う。なんか動詞の後で形容詞だったらの使うね。ゲームするの楽しい。動詞の後で動詞だったらのを使うね。勉強するのを頑張ります。けどね、後で名詞あったらと使うでしょ。掃除すると妥協した。ライブハウスのお手洗いを掃除すると妥協した。バイタビットメンバーと。そんな感じで覚えやすくなるよ。How do we conjugate ser in pretérito indefinido? I do that by feeling, so it's kind of hard to explain. I would need to look it up. そうだね、日本人はそれを考えてないね。ただ感覚で使ってるけど、やっぱり僕は日本人ではないからね。そう、いろいろ考えないといなきゃ。Your Spanish is perfect. Felicidades. Pues es mi primer idioma, así que gracias. No es perfecto, pero I would hope my first language would be good. What version of straw do you use in Spanish? I use popote. While learning Chinese, did you learn the dialects as well? I think I was taught by someone that uses the zhi instead of zi. So my professor would use zhongwen instead of zongwen. Aguacate o palta. Aguacate. Freo no nihongo no koe yaseru. Arigato. Don't you get stuck when converting languages to many words? Always. I always get stuck. Team Palta. I mean, it's all about the language you grow up. I mean, the region you grow up in. Everyone's valid. Do you dream in English or in Japanese? I don't remember my dreams, so I wouldn't know. ¿Qué es tu comida favorita latina? Me gustan mucho las enchiladas, el mole, los tacos. ¿Crees que algún día harás un stream solo en español? Me gustaría algún día. Algo que les estaba explicando a los listeners anoche es que, pues bueno, no podemos negar que el público hispano es el más pequeño de la audiencia ahorita. Y algo que me gustaría implementar si hago directos en español es implementar subtítulos con una aplicación que me traduce en tiempo real. Y estoy esperando a ver si lo puedo implementar antes de hacer un directo en español. Porque también he visto que hay varios listeners japoneses que les interesa aprender el español. Así que tal vez tener subtítulos sería una buena idea. Bro, you're just stalling for languages? No. It's just I like learning and I want to get better, and I get frustrated that I get frustrated of the level I'm at, so I just want to keep working hard, you know? Hola. Do you pick up on other hobbies fast? If I like them, I'll research a lot. What new language would you learn if possible? I want to focus on Japanese, on getting my Japanese improved more than anything. But I would, if I have to pick a new language, it would probably be Mandarin Chinese. Would you consider playing any instrument someday? That would be cool. A lot of time, though. ¿Planeas aprender un nuevo idioma? Ahorita me quiero concentrar en mejorar el japonés más que nada. Spain語わかるようになりたいな。嬉しい。Will you do a study stream someday? Maybe. Something I wanted to implement in my Japanese Zatsu dance was sharing my Japanese practice that I do daily on stream. But I'm also waiting to see if I can do that. I have various plans, but they all required some like preparation and stuff. Ie ni mo Nihongo mai senpai takusan iru kara ikeru to ii ne. 確かにね。先輩だけじゃなくね。セーブルくんがいるからマジで助かるわ。Do you have any language learning app to recommend? Not really. I didn't use apps. I just say find someone to talk with. いるやん。いるんだ。Hi, Seible. いつもありがとうございます。Thank you, always. I thought maybe He was watching Kaelix's stream now. This is what I mean, that where he's like an enigma. You never know what he's up to, what he's doing next. Like I see a notification at like 7 a.m. in the morning and I'm tagged 3 times about Zeal reheating his coffee in the microwave after putting it in the fridge. BTV のみんな仲良すぎて癒されるよ。いや、僕もこっちにも癒されるよ。Who said that? That's niche. I know, right? There's this niche somewhere. I wonder who it was. It's kind of bothering me that I'm looking at the chat at the left, despite the chat box being in the right, so now I'm gonna move it here. I'll get him, don't worry. Makaseru wa. Playing story-focused games in Japanese is also a good way to learn Japanese. That is true. There are a few games, especially aimed at children, that do translate all the kanji to katakana or furigana, like Nintendo games. So those could be good to learn, like maybe Zelda or Animal Crossing. You have any tips for someone who's just starting to learn Japanese? Learn the basics and then find someone to talk to. Immerse yourself in the language. Don't learn just from anime. ポケモンとか。そうだね。ポケモンで日本語でやったことないけど。便利そう。Yeah, absolutely. Consuming any media in the language you are learning is great. But you say you're learning languages with yourself, so you don't use Duolingo or anything else? I use Anki, but that's just like flashcards. It's like making flashcards yourself. Ya me tengo que ir, cosas de adulto responsable. Sale, gracias por pasarte. Tengas buen día. Some Japanese from listening to some Japanese metal rock bands. つもりやってほしいね。ねえ。みんながやっぱりやつもり好きだね。スイッチ持ってないけど、やれない。それは僕の言い訳ね。なんか、動物の森とか、マインクラフトとか、なんか、サンドボックスゲームはあんまり、なんか、ちょっと、騒ぎをみたいなゲームだからね。あまり興味ないけど。リサナさんが好きってわかるから多分。やってみようかな。いつか。わかんないけどね。どんなゲームが好き？挑戦ゲームが好き。死にゲームが好き。難しいのゲームが好き。けどね、リサナさんのことももう、なんか、この単語はいつも忘れてるね。to consider. けど、リサナさんのことをもう考えたいから。たまにで配信していいかな？大丈夫。ホラゲ好き？普通かな？ A future collab you want? I was asked about this in Japanese during my 9 Soul stream, but I'll say it in English also, just in case. Of course, there's people I want to collab with. There's a lot of senpais that I look up to. However, I don't think it's appropriate of me to mention who I want to collab with on stream. Because what if they don't want to collab with me? Don't you think that would pressure them into the fans wanting to see a collab? I think maybe it's better to do these things privately and for me to focus on my activities as a recently debuted liber as well. Like, I don't blame you for asking. I understand. It's like, people are curious. But as a kohai, I really want to make my senpais the least uncomfortable as possible. Who's your Oshin JO1? It's Sky. Sorry to ask, but which language are you most comfortable to speak in? English, Japanese, or Spanish? I sometimes speak English to Japanese on accident. I switch to Japanese to Korean without noticing too. Usually Spanish is the one I speak the most at home, so usually Spanish. But it depends. Sometimes I forget words in Spanish that I remember in English. Sometimes I forget words in English that I remember in Japanese. I feel like the more languages you learn and the more languages you speak, the worse you get at all of them as well. 私はつもり見るのは好きだけど、プレイするのは苦手わかる。好きなゲームを楽しくしよう。ね、なんか違うね、やると見るね。あつ森の癒しゲームだからね。ゆっくりやれるから、ちょっと雑談ゲームみたいね。Also, I understand that people are excited about like K-pop, J-pop, and want to ask me about like my favorite idols and my oshis and stuff. But let's remember the rules, which I mean the chat is not bringing them up because I asked them not to. It's part of the rules. Let's remember the rule is to stay on topic of the stream. But don't worry, I plan on doing an idol K-pop related Satsudan in the future, where we can talk to as much as we want. Thank you for understanding. Thank you. What do you usually order in a cafe? Coffee. Like, 英語で話してたね。なんか僕も K-POP が大好きだから、なんかみんなが K-POP の話したいってわかるけど、なんかチャットのルールでなんか配信の話題で止まって方がいいって書いてるね。だから僕は K-POP の話しなかったらコメントで K-POP の質問しなくてありがたいと。配信の話題で止まって方がいいよ。Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。Right now, it's not just coffee. At this point, we're talking about languages, but if I don't bring it up, then it's probably better to not distract ourselves. And I'm asking this because I know I'll be tempted to answer, then I'll go off topic. Or I won't get to what I want to do. But it's okay. In the future, there's going to be more open Satsudans where we can talk about anything as well. From what I'm seeing, you attracted all the bilinguals and multilinguals. I mean, isn't it inspiring to see someone that speaks multiple languages? And you're attracted to them as well? I lean towards multilinguals as well, personally. Is it difficult to learn Spanish? I think so. I think Spanish is a hard language. Do we post coffee recommendations in Ego Surf tag? You can do that. Yeah, you can do that if you want me to see it. The Ego Search tag is for messages you want me to see. But once again, I'll remind you guys, this is a serious tag. People put their honest feelings in it. So no sarcasm, no memes, no irony, no shit posting. That's what the Freo meme tag is for. And I also look at it and laugh, so no worries. ¿Te gusta el pastel o prefieres el tiramisú por encima de todo? Me gusta el pastel también. No soy mucho de postres, pero pues usualmente sí prefiero el tiramisú. El cheesecake también me gusta. What is your best coffee in life? Probably the one I tried at Glitch Coffee, the Ethiopian. Hey, what do you want, Freo? Thank you. Would you prefer green tea or matcha? I like both. It depends on the mood. I think green tea is more for like a casual drinking, and then matcha is like when I want to take my time and appreciate it, you know? Which tag can I post cosplay? That's a good question because I do not have a cosplay tag. I think you can use either the general tag or the Doremin tag. Feel free to use either. ¿Enseñarás español a By David un día si quieren para un stream o no stream? Pues si les gustaría. Creo que los tres alguna vez han aprendido español, así que, o han estudiado español, así que sería entretenido. Kaelix habla bastante bien el español. Have you ever tasted egg coffee? I tried the Dalgona coffee, which was okay. You put egg on it, right? Shokoto ni coffeeを飲みますか? そうだね。Shokotoのコーヒー飲むのが好き。Yeah, Dalgona was trending a few years ago. Have you tried Rooibos tea? I do. I like it a lot. コーヒーをいつから飲めるようになった？苦くて苦って。あ、ねえ、僕は子供の時からおばあちゃんがコーヒーあげてたね。ミルクで。だから、もう前からなってたね。けど、多分、なんだっけ。最初にミルクと砂糖でつけてたね。大人になった時に、なんか、ほんまのコーヒーを興味あったから、なんか、ゆっくり砂糖少なくて、ミルクとだけで飲んでて、後でブラックになれた。今もブラックが一番好き。How old were you at that time? Let's keep things ambiguous first. What activity do you usually do while drinking coffee? I like listening to music while I brew coffee. A lot. And then while drinking, I'll watch YouTube videos or work or do something else. How often do you drink coffee? If I usually I try to drink every day because I like it, but there's some days where I can't. Any specific type of music while brewing it or just anything? Recently, I listened to a lot of K-pop while I brew coffee, either K-pop or Ichikanito. Very different things, but that's what I've been into. Do you know how to make cold brew? I do, but I don't do it much because I prefer pour over even for iced coffee or cold coffee. Café con pimienta. No lo he probado. How many coffee cups do you have in a day? Usually, I will have at most 2. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I do enjoy it a lot, but I mentioned earlier that caffeine dries up your throat. So as a streamer and as a vocalist, I try to avoid drinking too much. Do you like iced Americano? Yeah, it's nice. Hojicha. Yeah. When in the day do you usually drink coffee? Around this time, actually. I don't drink it much in the morning because I often wake up late. But I usually drink it around this afternoon, so that's why I picked this time. Also because it lines up with morning in Asian time zones. So it can be like an afternoon coffee for people around my time zone. And it can be a morning coffee session for people in the other side of the world. Would you ever do covers in Korean and be interested in speaking Korean? Interesting. Have you tried Irish coffee? I have not. Or is that the one? that's a different kind of coffee, or is that the coffee where they put whiskey in it? A esta hora toman café las abuelitas. Ey, ¿qué estás insinuando? The one with whiskey? My uncle really likes that. I am not that fan. I'm not that big of a fan. Worst coffee that you ever tried? I don't know. I've had a lot of like bad coffee that's like instant. Or maybe just coffee that I brewed wrong because I made a mistake. Microwave coffee. Have you ever tried Vietnamese coffee before? Yeah, it's very sweet. Very strong and very sweet. I like it. I wouldn't drink it often, but I like it. Denchin coffee. Yada. Durian coffee? I've heard about it, but I haven't tried it. I would try it. Strongest coffee you have ever tasted? I had it. I tried a very dark roasted bean. I think it was called like Dark Horse or something. It was interesting. I'm not that into dark roasts, but my dad loves dark roast. You like sweet or salty things more? Usually salty. Or bitter. I really like plain tasting things also. Like deep roasted, shallow roasted. I like light roasted. That coffee bean chocolate snacks? They're not bad, but I wouldn't pick them as my snack. Coffee flavored dessert? I love tiramisu. That's my favorite dessert, besides pan dulce. Bulletproof coffee? Oh boy. Any snacks you like to pair with coffee? I like usually sweets, like pan dulce or cookies or something. Or even cheesecake. Any favorite brewer? Oh man, I really look up to, what's his name, Tetsu Katsuya? He was the world champion from Japan. The recipe I did today is actually his recipe for the Hario Switch. 一番尊敬してるの入れるの人はやっぱり鉄かすやさんね。コーヒーの。They use a hand mill or electric milk? I use a hand mill. Buenos días from Japan. Buenos días. You drink coffee every day? Not every day. I try to, but sometimes there's days where I don't. Cono sin azúcar, así solito. Philo Coffee, yeah, that's his store. I would like to try his coffee one day. ¿Qué cultura piensas que es más cafetelera? Pues Colombia tiene una cultura muy fuerte de tomar le dicen el tinto, ¿no? Freo は自分でクッキングする？料理ね、なんかシンプルなものは作れるけど、そんなに得くないね。恥ずかしいけどね。いつか上手くなりたい。カップ麺とか、いや、カップ麺は料理するのではないでしょ。卵とかパスタとか簡単なことを作れるよ。Beans from El Salvador? Yeah. Not much though. Only like once or twice. Have any favorite beans? I want to try more to be able to say, oh, these ones are my favorite, but I really like Costa Rican. Costa Rica and either for Mexico, Chiapas or Veracruz. I drink a lot of Latin America coffee beans. Have you tried affogato? Yeah, that's nice. Coffee flavored desserts that you like? Tiramisu. Coffee equipment can be so expensive, but yet they are a joy to have. Yeah, I really want to get a proper kettle, a proper weight, and a proper grinder. The Comandante is my dream. Mexico 料理とスペイン語料理結構違うかな？全然違うよ。Mr. Casuya's 4-6 method? Yeah, that's a classic. I use his new method with the switch, but the 4-6 method is also very good. What type of notes do you like from coffee? I like sweeter notes, usually more like chocolate, dulce de leche, and caramel or brown sugar type of notes. But recently I'm also getting into more floral, aromatic kind of coffee. Freo の国のおすすめ料理はなんか人によるね。ラテンアメリカだったらやっぱりメキシコ料理がおすすめするね。辛いのやつ好きだったら。仕事になるほどね。いってらっしゃい。仕事で頑張ってください。来てくれてありがとう。シコ料理大好き？そっちにメキシコ料理の場所いるの？あるの？ For ice or hot coffee? Hot coffee usually, but ice when it's really hot. Ya quiero ver si pruebo el café después de todo después de todo de esta explicación. Gracias, Freo. No es nada, si te llegó a interesar, estoy agradecido. いろんな国のお料理店あるよ。そうなんだ。いいじゃん。Do you like cold brew? Do you like Americano? Do you like hot mocha? Yes, I do like cold brews. Yes, I do like Americanos. I do like lattes, and I do like mocha. But I prefer pour over black coffee more than anything else. How about nuts flavoring coffee? I'm open to trying any flavor. What type of coffee would you recommend for beginners? Probably a nice light roast with more sweeter notes than fruitier ones, because fruitiers can be interpreted as acidic, maybe. ¿Cuál me recomendarías? Un tueste no muy oscuro. Pero también te recomiendo que intentes porque va a ser, va a depender de los gustos de cada quien, ¿no? Guacamole好き？普通に好きだよ。I have not tried beans from Argentina, actually. Which I think it's better if the chat's here. It's harder to look at the other side. You like coffee with cream on top? I do not. I like it black. What do you think about coffee sweeteners? I usually do not like them much. お昼はメキシコ料理にしようかな。いいじゃん。メキシコ料理一番好きなの料理はイタリア料理ね。トップ3はイタリア料理、メキシコ料理、日本料理。 What's your first language? Spanish. What changes if it's a darker roast? You get a more consistent flavor, but you will also lose a lot of the subtleties in coffee. You'll get a stronger, more bitter flavor. And usually darker roasts go well with milk drinks. 日本料理好きで言ってくれてありがとう。いや。美味しいから好きだよ、普通に。何が好き？一番好きななんか食事はそばね。やっぱり。ざるそば一番好き。渋いの好きだよ。My favorite Japanese dish is ざるそば。ラーメン好き。ラーメン好き。日本に行った時になんかマジで美味しいな味噌ラーメンのお店に行ってた。辛かったよ。普通に日本では辛いのレベルは低いから、これはちょうどいい辛いレベルだったよ。だって日本人で辛いであんまり得くないでしょ。I do like ramen. I was talking about how my favorite Japanese dish is cold soba noodles. But usually when I went to Japan, I noticed the spicy level in Japan is very weak. Like what they consider spicy is just very... It's like... It's not spicy at all for me. But I went to this miso ramen store, which actually had a nice spicy level. And I really enjoyed it. Do you like sushi? Yeah, I do. I'm more of a salmon person than a tuna person, but I like both. ¿Eres bueno con el picante? Sí, no soy el mejor. De hecho, creo que Zeal es mejor que yo con el picante. Pero sí me gusta bastante. Me encanta la salsa habanero, por ejemplo. Mase soba recommended? Oh, I would love to try. It seems I have to learn Japanese for your stream. I try to include everyone. I try to reply in English, Japanese, and Spanish the most I can, so please do not feel intimidated and speak in the language you know. I will do my best to reply. No, say the translation's kind of wrong. I said Zeal is better than me, not Seible. ¿Te gusta el mate? Sí, el mate es muy bueno. Me gusta bastante, ¿eh? Would you recommend to try tacos or quesadillas first? Tacos. I think quesadillas is easier to make. プリは食べてみたい日本食ありますか？いろいろあるね。なんだっけ？何かな？だって日本に行った時に忙しかったからいろいろ食べてみいろいろ食べなかったね。ファミレスを行けた？ただ鳥貴族だけどね。うどんは好き。うどんは美味しいよ。美味しかったよ。What you like, fish or beef? I like all of them. おすすめのコーヒー教えて。もういろいろ教えたから多分アーカイブで見れるけど。できれば 神保町のグリッチコフィに行ってくれたら美味しいよ。何食べたの？今はただ、なんか朝ごはんがあまり食べるのが好きじゃないから、普通にトーストとクリームチーズだけで食べてた。配信する前に。¿Te gusta el pozole? El verde, blanco, el rojo. Usualmente el rojo, pero el verde también es bueno. El blanco no he probado, la verdad. If you could compare the BTV members to coffee, what would each be? That's a great question. Oh, man. Oh, man. Kaelix? Kaelix is a caramel frappuccino, I think. I would say he's the one with most, the one that you drink and you can feel all the sugar and it gets you really energized. The one that most people like. Very, very sweet to an almost overwhelming sense. I think a caramel frappuccino fits him perfectly. Seible, I would say, is more either... Seible, I would make him... This is tough. Zeal is microwave coffee. Nah. Zeal is way better than what he drinks. Yeah, I think cafe au lait. I don't know. Yeah, I think cafe au lait fits him. I was thinking whether a latte or a cafe au lait would fit Seible. Because while it's not as sweet or as strong as something like caramel frappuccino, it's still very soft and easy to drink. And there's like some kind of comfort to it, right? A very comfortable presence you get from like just a simple clean latte or cafe au lait. I would say Zeal is an espresso drink. I would categorize him just as espresso, not just by itself, because that's too bitter. But maybe a double shot macchiato, where it's like you can still feel the strength of the espresso, but there's milk to it to balance it out. Because Zeal is also like very gentle. Like I mentioned earlier, he's a gentle giant. So yeah, I think those are my final choices. Caramel frap for Kaelix, cafe au lait for Seible, and a macchiato for Zeal. How about yourself? Maybe I'm biased because I like black coffee, but I would say I'm a pour over cup of coffee. I think for me, I describe myself as very... I don't know, I can be very stubborn in the way that I want to do things my way a lot. And I think I like minimalism a lot, so I think the simpleness of a cup of black coffee fits me the most. Maybe a properly brewed black coffee. Because I know a lot of people have commented saying, oh, I thought he would be mean. I thought he would be angry because of my resting face, right? Like if I don't smile or anything. I look angry, right? So usually maybe the point that where you try to black coffee and you think, oh, it's going to be bitter. It's going to taste bad, but then you grow to enjoy it more. Then I think that would fit me as well. But yeah, if I just don't smile or anything. Not by chance. By design. I don't know. This is the face I have. The face I was born with, and it is what it is. I personally like it. I mentioned it before, but I relate this to some of the idols I really like. When they have like the stoic face when they're performing, doesn't mean like they're angry people. But when the intensity of singing or performing and they look so serious, or even like feeling the music to the point where like they're intense or angry, I think it's so cool. I think it's something that I got from the people that I admire. It suits you well? Thank you. The duality. Like an angry cat, I am a hedgehog. I'm a hedgehog. There you go. Yen Ning knows what it's about. なんでそんなに可愛い？可愛いの？かっこいいでしょ。いや、別に可愛いって言われて構わないけどね。かっこ可愛いね。綺麗もある。まあ、お母様のおかげでね。小麦作お母様のおかげで。綺麗のチャームポイントがある。So you're Sonic, I'm Freo. Turkish sand coffee? I have not tried it. I would love to try it someday. What's your favorite compliment to receive? Oh man. I think more than, oh, you have talent, I like when people recognize that I've been working hard to improve. Because when I started singing, when I started speaking languages, when I started streaming, I wasn't good at them. There's still a lot of things that I get frustrated about, and frustration is my main motivation for wanting to improve. I wouldn't say I'm unhappy, but I'm not satisfied. And that's my drive for always wanting to do better. And I think if people can recognize it's like, hey, you've gotten better. Hey, you've been working hard. I can see. That's something that makes me happy. You do give off perfectionist vibes to a dangerous amount of level, maybe. Because I'm very far from perfect, and I'm very far from good at what I do. But I think the endless chase to perfection is not a necessarily bad thing. As long as you challenge yourself to be a better you than you were yesterday, I think that's enough to do it at everyone's pace. And I think that's something that I would want to teach to my listeners as well, or like transmit, either with the difficult games that I play where I don't give up, my striving to improve at the skills that I possess at the moment. It's okay to do it at your own pace. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. Just let's stand back up and try again. There are a few people said their soul left their body after they tried Vietnamese black coffee. The only Vietnamese coffee I tried was with milk. It was like iced. Even if you believe that there's people that think you're a model they want to follow, that shows how much effort and charisma you have with you. So keep forgetting, getting stronger. And if that's the case, then that even more of a reason for me to be a good example, right? If people want to follow. I really want to be a good influence. ¿Te gusta el café con leche pero con canela caliente? Sí me gusta, pero usualmente si voy a tomar café lo prefiero negro. De vez en cuando sí lo tomo con leche, pero muy pocas veces. Y sería como ya espumando la leche bien, como un latte. Freoのおかげで英語頑張ろうと思えたよ。なんかいろいろコメント見たね。なんか初めて家のライブを見てるとか、英語とスペイン語を勉強したくなかった勉強したくなるとか。それは感動される。やっぱり。 したくなったね。そう。可愛いって言わないでよ。困ってるよ。ありがとう。したくなったね。したくなっちゃったって言いたかった。Does the egg coffee you tried go with the creamy textured eggs? I don't remember. I don't remember that well, actually. 照れちゃった。まあ、やっぱり日本語や他の言語で間違えるのは恥ずかしいもんね。けど、恥ずかしさを忘れながら、どうやって言うの？恥ずかしさを忘れなくて、その恥ずかしさを覚える中で、成長するのを挑戦する。なんか、恥ずかしいの気持ちを忘れないでね。Death, shameless teacher. そんな感じね。わかる。ごめんね。変な日本語になって。だから、他の言語で間違えるのはいいと思う。How can I learn to listen to English? I would say make sure to study the basics and watch or listen to a lot of English media. Also, if you have someone that speaks English nearby, make sure to practice with them only in English. That would be good. I always make mistakes when I speak English, but I learn something too. Yeah, I make mistakes in English all the time as well. I have the worst English in By the Beat, of course. 初めてライフ見た。言語の切り替えるのうますぎ。いや、頑張ってるね。Bueno, no es nativo, así que está bien. No, pero igual me equivoco en el español. Así pasa. I would like to try comment in English. I appreciate it. I'm supporting you. 応援してるね。挑戦するフリオくんかっこいいです。頑張って。ありがとうございます。I stopped drinking coffee almost 7 years now after hearing you talk about coffee. Which coffee would you recommend that's not too sweet, but not too strong that upsets your stomach? I would say maybe a floral coffee. An aromatic floral coffee that's not too bright. I mean, not too fruity or not too sweet. I'll say maybe a Colombia bean would be good. A Colombian light roast. I'm embarrassed to comment in English, but I'll keep it dry anyways. I'm supporting you. It's not embarrassing. I make mistakes in Japanese all the time. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn. How do you describe coffee to those who can't drink them? It's an acquired taste. This is the best way to put it. Light roasts are quite acidic, so medium roast is fine. The thing is though, I think light roasts are good for getting into drinking black coffee because that's where you can get the nuances and the subtleties of the coffee beans compared to medium or dark. If you want to reduce the acidity, you can try a different brewing method that uses more immersion. Freo君おはようございます。英語聞き取れるように勉強頑張るね。ありがとうございます。頑張ってください。応援してるよ。お互い頑張ろう。 切り抜きから来ました。あー、見たね。いろいろ切り抜きされてたね。ありがとう、来てくれて。They have different types of coffee you like in different places or countries? I don't really have a specific, I like this country's coffee for these. But I still have a lot to try for me to have a solid opinion. I like coffee a lot, but I'm still very new to specialty coffee in a way.僕は辛とだよ。辛いの食べ物好き。切り抜き見たよ。切り抜きしてくれてありがとうね。感謝するわ。Would you consider taking any coffee classes or would you experiment on your own? I would probably experiment on my own. Coffee is kind of like... It takes time to take classes, you know? And ever since I joined as a NIJISANJI Ian Liver and debuted it, I've been very busy. How do you study kanji? I do flashcards online. I do virtual flashcards with Anki. Is pour over your favorite way of making coffee? Yes. Would you like mint flavoring coffee? I would like to try that. I like mint a lot. Do you go to coffee cupping sessions? I do not. I would like to. クリオ君は辛いものも甘いものも好き？どっちも好きだけど辛いのがいい。辛いの方が好きかも。だけど、なんか何か食べたいの雰囲気によるね。Apart from Anki, do you use something else for Japanese? Not really. I use a browser extension called Yomitan so I can add the kanjis to Anki and that's it. Did your grandma give you coffee because she liked it a lot as well? My grandma loves coffee. Would you like to collab with coffee brands? We were talking about this earlier, but it would be great if I could release my own set of coffee beans, you know? Latin America の料理はスパイシーですか？全部はスパイシーじゃないよ。なんか国によるけど、普通にメキシコ料理はスパイシーだけど、なんか他の国はそんなにスパイシーではないよ。多分メキシコだけかな。What are your thoughts in using JP visual novels as a way to learn Japanese? If you are very determined, you can use visual novels or just any novels to improve your vocabulary a lot. That helps a lot. What type of tacos do you like? My favorite are asada, but I also like birria. What's the weirdest coffee you have tried? I don't think I've tried anything particularly weird. Have you tried Frappuccino? Yeah, it's too sweet for me, but other people like it. What's it like being trilingual? I'm bilingual and often confuse Spanish terms and English terms a lot, so I can imagine knowing 3 languages. Yeah, you confuse them even more with 3 languages. ほんとキリクスみたいね。そうだね。もう、英語で聞かれたね。バイトビンのメンバーはコーヒーの飲み物は何だったら教えてって聞かれてて、ケイリクスはフラプチーノカラメルの、セイブルはカフェオレ、そしてジールはマキアート。I'm not sure whether to buy an electric or manual coffee mill. I would say a manual one is my recommendation. Do you think about making a coffee tier list stream? I usually, I don't know if I want to do tier lists, especially for products and stuff. I don't want to make it seem like I know it's my opinion, but I don't want to make a product look bad just because I don't like it as much. People have different tastes, and I am representing NIJISANJI EN, so I need to be careful about what kind of image, what kind of opinion I'm giving. My opinions do not represent just myself. よく考えてるね。考えないといかないよ。仕事だからね。I'm not an English speaker, but I'm listening to your live stream prepare for my English exam. I hope my exam goes well. I'm wishing you best of luck with your exam. How important is kindness to you? That's a deep question. I think it would be great if everyone could be kind. You're so erai. What is asada tacos? You can look it up. You should look it up. Chanto misu 飲んでる？まあ今はコーヒー殺なんだからコーヒー飲んでたね。けどそばにお味噌もあるよ。How did you learn English? It's so hard. I learned in school and by practicing with native speakers. Have you ever worked in a cafe? I have not. Have you learned ohiragana, katakana, and kanji? I don't think even Japanese speakers have learned all the kanji. Freo コーヒー店、喫茶店。開こう？ドレミンコーヒーか。Hi Freo, first time catching you live. Can you share which model of chair you use for streaming if you're allowed to? Can you describe it? Just want to draw proper fan art. I use a Hellman Miller Arrow. When I am working on my mixing. Right now we're at a coffee shop though, so we're just sitting in a normal chair. I become unconfident when chatting with others in unfamiliar language. Can you tell me how to overcome this difficulty? I think it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be embarrassed. Remember that embarrassing feeling and use it as a motivation factor to get better and to never forget that mistake. Everyone makes mistakes and no one thinks too much about it. If someone was speaking in your language and they made a mistake, would you care? Would you laugh at them? Of course not, right? You would appreciate that they're trying. So why wouldn't they do the same for you? Nihongo no nuance mo wakatte te sugoi ya. Ma, tokidoki wakanai aru ne. Tokidoki wakanai toki aru ne. Do you have any recommended coffee shops? I would love to try the coffee from a place you also like. I can only recommend the ones that I went to in Japan, which I'll show them again for any newcomers. Chatei Hato in Shibuya. Glitch Coffee in Jinboucho. Pharos Coffee in Jinboucho. And Mermaid Coffee Roasters in Ikebukuro. And sorry for anyone that's recently came for stream. I already explained all the coffee I drank in my Japan trip, so for those that missed it, feel free to check out the archive later. 行ってみるね。かわいいお店、マジでかわいかった。 What do you like doing most while drinking coffee? Either listening to music or working. Like mixing, maybe. Did you learn JP voluntarily? Yes, I was not forced to learn Japanese. I did it because I was interested. Butterfly pea flower tea? Not really. That sounds nice though. Favorite music genre? I don't have any. I like I like Vocaloid a lot. Which words do you find difficult to pronounce? In English? In Japanese. I talked about this yesterday, but I struggle sometimes with words that have like a really like case, but usually more when singing. I use shanty as an example. Like kakageta owner. Saying kakageta owner really fast is kind of hard. Do you eat pancake when you drink coffee? Sometimes. What's your favorite Vocaloid song recently? I recommend Tenshi Kihatsei by Yamaji. Let me recommend Tenshi. このボカロ曲をおすすめする。マジで好きや。ってみます。山地様を応援してくれたら嬉しいです。Anyways, it's getting late, so I think I am going to end the stream here. I am so sorry. I would love to keep chatting with everyone, but there's some other stuff I have to do today. And it was really fun. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully, we can have another coffee satsu next week, where we can talk about things just more than just coffee while I drink coffee. All right. Okay. So, I am Freodore, designer of the 11th unit of NIJISANJI EN by the Beat. I hope you have a good day. 改めて by the Beat の Freodore でした。Take care, Doremin. See you later. Oh, also, let's I think Kaelix is streaming right now, right? Let's take the stream to him. How do I do that though? Alright. Alright. He's doing a satsu, so please take care of him, okay? See you guys.